So we have arrived from the airport at our hotel. It's called Lodge Tate and it's really nice. I'll show you our room in a second, but the staff here seem really friendly. It's slightly out of town, but you can walk in like 10-15 minutes, so it's perfect for us. It's really peaceful. It kind of feels a bit like a ranch. We're going to go into town to stock up on water, and then we are going to hire bicycles and cycle out to Valle de Luna. Apparently from the centre of town it's a 20-kilometre round cycle, so it doesn't take that long, and they recommend that you don't go after 2 in the afternoon because you need to kind of get back before dark. So the guy at the hotel said go at about 1 and be home by 8. And you can totally DIY it. There are tours that I think cost about $20, so they're not that much, but we're going to do it on our own so we can take our time. And then this is us, number 4. Of course we've already got all our stuff everywhere, but this is our little room. So it's nothing crazy fancy, but I think in general the accommodation in San Pedro is quite basic, so we've sprung for a slightly nicer place. It was 40,000 Chilean pesos for the one night for the 2 of us, so that is about £40, and it seems really lovely. So while I remember, to get from the airport you should be paying 20,000 Chilean pesos, which is about £20. There's loads of different people trying to sell you stuff, but actually everything costs the same, so it doesn't really matter who you go with. And then you go in like a little kind of 8-person minibus into town. It's an hour drive and really amazing because you get to see all the amazing landscapes, and there's a beautiful wind farm, and it kind of all looks like Mars. So
unless you're asleep and then you miss it all.
Yeah, everyone else was asleep and I was just like wide-eyed looking out the window like, this is amazing. So I would recommend trying to stay awake on the bus because it's actually a little mini tour included in the price. So I should also probably explain to you the plan for what's going to be in the vlog. We arrived today at Calama Airport, which is San Pedro town in the north of Chile, so we're going to see the kind of Atacama desert, but because we don't have much time, we've only got the afternoon here and obviously the night, and then tomorrow we start a 3-day tour over to Bolivia, and then on the 4th day we drive all the way back to here and fly back to Santiago. So I would recommend, if you have time, you spend a couple of days here in San Pedro, but we just couldn't fit it in, so the salt flats had to take priority, but still I think we're going to fit in Valle de la Luna this afternoon, so we'll get to see some of it, but it's going to be quite an adventure. What a badass. The postman! I don't know why I think this is so cool. So we've completed our first mission, which was to buy a ton of water. On these tours that we're going on, you can't really buy water, and obviously you need it to live, so they recommend that you buy 7 litres per person for the 3 days. We've bought 10 because we drink quite a lot of water and we want to try and stay hydrated to stave off the altitude sickness. And now we're going to go and get our bicycles and go to Valle de Luna. We got Swish bikes. We're gonna cycle. Apparently it's supposed to take 5 hours. We're allowing like 1, so we'll see how that goes. So we just cycled over all of this. It's like actual Mars. Very challenging. In our super cool bike outfits. Oh, you just look normal cool now. That's not fair, I still look ridiculous. And here are an example of Valle de la Luna. So this is all salt. Over there's loads more, which we may or may not make it to, but it's even got this amazing like salt river. Very cool. And I think if you can get to the top, you can get some really cool like Grand Canyon-y type photos, but with all the white salt snow. So we have taken some quality Instagrams and also some hilarious digital douchebag ones to kind of make fun of the nomad lifestyle. So while I'm here, by the way, hiring the bikes was 3,500 each, which is like £4, and you get them for 6 hours. They say that it takes 5 hours to do Valle de la Luna, but I think it probably depends how much you want to hike around and explore. We kind of just want to get a few pictures and then go and do the sandboarding because we're in a bit of a rush, but I think you can easily spend a day doing each of the different sites, so it depends how long you've got really. And we also changed our money for Bolivia because this is the only place you can do it. You can do it in Santiago, but it's quite difficult, and there's nowhere at the local airport here to change money, so you have to come into town and change it here. But all the places seem to have about the same price, so it's not a problem. So I heard that the last time it rained here was 50 years ago, and it rained for 20 minutes. I'm not sure if that is this area in general or specifically Valle de la Muerte, which means Death Valley. But yeah, pretty crazy. This is the driest place on Earth, and that's why it looks exactly like Mars.
Can't tell exactly what I'm filming, but hopefully it's good.
So here we are at the bottom of the valley. It's pretty amazing. Look at this. Love it. And up there is where we were just now. What's through here?
Just my crib. It's just where I hang out with the boys. It's like standing on little ice gems on this salt.
Yeah, it's like snow, but better because it's so robust. Oh, that's a nice fresh bit.
So satisfying.
I wonder how long that footprint will stay for. So we have got back from Valle de la Luna. Obviously we didn't go all the way in like the big 5-hour trek, so if you're here for longer then do that because I'm sure it'll be amazing. But the bit that we did see was totally awesome, like really unusual and dramatic, and like I've never been anywhere like it in the world really. I think it's pretty unique, very panoramic, so I would highly recommend. I think cycling was a really good way to do it. I'm pretty exhausted, but I'm going to blame it on the altitude. It's mostly flat, so it's fine, but just obviously that stuff we did over the salt and the sand was quite tough. But I'd highly recommend doing that. And next we're going to go and get a sandboard, really max out this half day that we have in San Pedro. But before that, a quick hammock chill back at the hotel. Alright, round 2, we're going sandboarding, and Avi's arrived. It's all kicking off. You're so going to take someone out. Avi, where's your fluorescent jacket?
I don't need one.
You look so much like Buzz Lightyear though, I love it. So after you go through the pay point, you cycle 3 kilometers in amazing landscape and just about survive. It's pretty sandy, pretty exhausting. These guys are struggling, mostly Ed.
Yeah, but I'm 260 pounds.
Alright, we made it. That was a pretty brutal cycle, but we're here. You know you've arrived when you see a couple of cars. And this is the sand dune.
Much pain.
You got this.
0 drag lifts.
It's pretty awesome when you get here though.
Yeah.
That was absolutely knackering. I'm glad I don't have a board. I don't want to do that more than once. But you know what? The view, pretty good. I'm gonna put this in slow motion. I like the technique.
It looks like I could have walked around. Yeah, buddy!
There's no way to camera's gonna do it justice, but those mountains look incredible. They're all like blue and pink and amazing. Also, this ride is slightly terrifying downhill. Here's our chosen dinner spot. We basically have just gone to somewhere that's got other people in it. I think that's a decent plan. So we've heard pretty much only bad things about places to eat in San Pedro. Everyone says there's not really anywhere good, but if you follow the crowds, you seem to get stuff that's pretty good. This food is ridiculously huge, and it looks nice.
Man, look at this.
He's happy.
This is legitimately the best meal I've had in Chile in terms of just protein quantity.
Yeah, no man, I think yours is better.
Yeah, it's better.
And then that's going to be it for today. We had, well, I don't know about you guys, but I had very low expectations for San Pedro. We just thought, seeing as we're here, we should do it, but really I was here for the Bolivian salt flats, and actually it was so good. I'm so glad that we managed to cram so much in today. I'm sure you could spend a few days here doing all the sites, but we're really pushed for time, and I loved Valle de la Luna and Valle de la Muerte, both like stunning and like nowhere that I've ever seen before in the world. So highly recommend. Tonight we're getting a really early night, and then in the morning we're getting picked up at 7 AM and we begin our tour to Bolivia. Super excited for that. So see you guys then. Good night.